Alright folks, here's another one. I got, this got kind of a fun one for me. I like to do this stuff. And I know some of you guys want to go out and just buy, the best one on the market. And that's fine, that's cool. I do too. I buy MBs, I buy the new Dukes and the, I don't own any of the KOs yet, but I will. This video is kind of about, or this video is kind of for guys that want to get back into trapping or can't afford it. Their families, they got 100 kids, but they want to teach their kids how to trap, and all they can do is afford this stuff you buy at the feed store. Or maybe they found Grandpa's old traps in the barn, or something, and want to get them back to working right. And this goes for square jaw, round jaw. What I'm going to do here applies to all traps. I mean, it's the same. You just updating them is what it is. You know the old Victor square jaws and the old round jaws. You got the short levers or long levers for the Victors. You got the old herders, and I also have some they're called Pioneers, which is basically the square jaw Victor number 2 is what they were. And even long springs, I'm going to base plate these. Long springs you can base plate, laminate. This is going to be a long video. This is a full deal. This trap's not gonna, this ain't a wolf trap, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep this chain, it's healthy chain. This is a Duke number 2 round jaw. Picked up from the hardware store, just like anybody else. The problem is with these is people that want to get back into trapping, or maybe they have a nuisance coon on their property. They want to go down to the hardware store and buy these. Well, in my state, this trap right here, not having laminates and it's only got a 1/8 inch jaw on it, this trap ain't legal to use on land for coons and possums and coyotes and fox and bobcats. And more than likely they don't know that. But so it's kind of sucks that they even sell them. But I guess excuse me, when I need a trap, I can run down there in a pinch, and buy one of these and deck it out and whatnot. I like to do this. This is fun. That's just it. This part of it, just building them and then taking them out and catching coyotes and stuff with them, and I like that a lot. But yeah, this is all the old. You can do this to anything. Slippy Creeks, your Victors, Wolf Creeks, all of them, except your MBs types and things of that nature. But this is going to be like I said, this will be a long video. I'm going to drill them out. We're going to tighten up the dog. I'm going to beef up the dog. We're going to laminate. I'm going to base plate. I'm going to make the base plate. These jaws, I'm going to turn them up and bubble tap or tack weld them. Bubble weld, or whichever you call it. This will be a done deal when we're all, this will be ready for paint, and I'll paint it and wax, and that's how I run mine. So when I'm all done here, it'll be ready for the dishwasher. Throw it in the dishwasher, clean all this oil I've already got on my hand just from holding it. But without further ado, we'll get started. First thing we want to do is pull our springs off, because we're going to be doing a lot of welding, so we don't want to get these springs too hot to where they lose their springiness. So let me find my flat tip and my spring tool. You're gonna need a lot of tools now. I have a spring tool here. Bought it from F&T. I bought all these tools from F&T that I use. F&T in Minnesota. Minnesota also carries a lot of these tools. This is just a pipe, solid on one end, hollow on the other, and it's for pulling your springs off. It's a spring tool. And I've got my my trap bender, or my trap bender. This just goes on the post, and I can do my pan level with it. And also I use it for, as heavy as this handle is, I use it for a hammer. I'll use it here in a second to pound my spring pin off. And they work. You'll need fencing pliers. And I take these are my, this is my tool right here, out in the trap line. They'll pop off you can take and put on a J-hook in no time flat. You just get around that dude. Just get around that J-hook end that opens. Give the trap a little twist, a little pull. There's your chain off. We'll take this J-hook and trash it because it's just, I don't know, it's trash. When you use them, after you compress them so much, you know, they kind of, that's it for them. Then we got this chain, like I said, it'll hold a coyote. I'm going to shorten it up because I'm going to run, I like a shorter chain. If I was going to run a chain this long, and this is, the chain itself, minus the swivel, is probably about a foot long. And these swivels here, I guess I should have kept that J-hook. I could have used it on this end for my water traps. Mink or muskrat, he won't mess with this, but I can almost, I mean, I'm not a small guy, I can almost crush that with my fingers, you know. So they're pretty cheap swivels, I ain't gonna lie. I'll never badmouth Duke just because I like to play with them, but these swivels are pretty cheap. And it's funny because the ones you buy on the new Duke, the new 550s, the new ones that he made, are they're like this. They're just almost crunch proof. They're a lot thicker swivel. But we'll do this later. I'm gonna cut this chain down shorter, and we'll double swivel it. We'll probably go about that long with it, about half. I'll put my swivels on each end with my base plate, which reminds me I need to get my D-ring. You can buy these dime a dozen, the D-rings, but I try to get everything prepped beforehand because this is going to be a long enough video as it is. Excuse me. Coffee break time, but it's gonna be a long enough video as it is, so I wanted to kind of prep, get my stuff, you know, prepped as I could. But this is a dang, can't think of the name of it now. It's just the bender, you know, for making base plates and stuff. But real handy. I bought it last year and I love it. I love this thing. Makes base plates, J hooks, whatever you want to do. It's gonna do it. But so we'll do that. Now this is 1/8 inch by 3/4 wide. For this trap, I cut it to 4 3/4 long. And I do that, I try to go most of the way across there because, well, once I make this bend, it's going to shorten it, you know. But I want to go as long as I can because basically this frame's going to be double the thickness. So besides that, we'll have a thicker jaw, and then I'm also going to weld these crosses on here. They'll be solid, but I gotta get these springs off before we even get started on anything. So we'll take a screwdriver and get in behind there, pull the top lever out, the top spring I mean. Slide this down over it, the spring end. So we're like that now. Pop that off. Do the same on the other side. Maybe. Okay, and what that's going to do now is let everything just fall away. So then we'll take our spring trap bender. There, go get this dog flipped. We're just going to take and pound this pin out. Easy peasy. Well, supposed to be. There we go. Gotta get your springs worked free. There we go. There's our spring pin and springs. Now we got our business right here. And then we'll also take this pan off. We're gonna drill this out. Might as well do it now, I guess. What we're gonna fix here before I go on, you can feel this pan has that slop in it. We're gonna take that out. When I drill this out, put a 3/16 drill bit through there, or a number 10, or a, yeah, what is it, 14 or whatever is what it's called. You buy it from F&T, it's like a 14 or something, but it's a 3/16 drill bit, and it's a number 10 bolt, which is a 3/8 nut. But we're gonna, what that does, that's gonna take out the slack in this. Cause see, this pan's already in between this size and 3/16. So it's gonna tighten that up. And then some of these old traps, you'll even have some front and back wobble. So we'll go ahead and pop this off. Okay. I guess, well, we got it here. I'll put it to this side. Take our 3/16 bit, drill this out. Okay. Take this pan, and punch it out. to do. I don't really feel a burr, but I'll take my file and just kind of go like that. But yeah, once we're all said and done, I don't know if I forgot to mention or not, we'll also night latch. So I like the pan size on these. For this size trap, you can't. That's good. You don't need, you know, and you can. You guys do the oversized pan, you know, on them. I don't particularly think that these need it. All right, so I'm gonna weld the frames first. What I'm going to do is just these crosses right here. I'm going to burn them, flip it over and do the other side. Actually, first of all, let's do this dog. I got this dog right here. What I'm going to do, you can see the front and back movement on that dog. I'm going to tighten that up. We'll throw him in the vise. What that does is when you're setting your trap, it's going to keep your pan level consistent every single time. You know, no matter where it's there's no other place it can be but the right place. You know, when you're setting same place, I should say. Whenever you're setting it. So I'm just going to take and bend this. What I did, let me show you here real quick. What I did was put that, there we are. I put that dog in there so you can just push that down, and it's just going to close that up. So I take my slack out of it. So I'm gonna keep moving this back and forth. I can feel my slack in it. You want to be careful on this. You don't go too far. You'll have to pry it back off and you know, redo it, because you got to be able to flip the post. The dog's got to be able to flip over the post. Is what I'm trying to say. See, like that. It's almost too much. Pretty tight. But that's gonna flip up fine. But then when you look at it, see, no more back and forth there. Zero. Now also what it did was when I put my pan on here, it's going to be way down low, so we'll have to probably back that off, because this dog just got a whole lot longer. So we'll have to fix that too, or readjust, I guess. That's final work. That's easy stuff. Alright, I guess I'll do the back side of this frame first. Auto darkening helmets are really great for this, because you can pretty much, you can do all of your work with your hood down. I don't, just because there's always something else I'm doing. But We're going to go ahead and burn this real quick. The old welder's about due for a new liner. It's spitting sputters and spats. Probably should have went alternated, and one on that side and one on this side. You want to watch so you don't get too hot and your frame will bend up. I think mine moved, but that's easy fix as long as we don't put it all together and then try to bend it. Sticky. Okay. So that's our frame welded. Not the prettiest, but it's on there. Actually pretty straight yet. And now all this is, actually before I do that, I'm going to put a bubble on these jaw ends. Turn the welder down. Way down, like you want to go cool, because all we're doing is putting a little, we're just putting a little turd of bead on here is all we're doing. Before we do that though, we're going to take this wrench and bend it. Oh, not really. Okay, so we'll have to use pliers. You can also use an adjustable wrench. Bend them up. What that's going to do is tighten the side to side on these, plus when big boy coyote's pulling on these things, when he's caught, he's not going to pull them out. So we got that bent up. Flip around here to the other side. Go. Now there's no side to side. The jaws are still loose, which is what we want. We want them to slam shut, you know. But now they're more secure. So we got that turned way down. I'm just gonna put a little turd on the end here. way you got her cool enough. Just want it big enough to where that little jaw end won't slip back through there, you know. And it's on the outsides of the jaws. See that? I put it out here on this outside. Well, I got my welder this cold. I'm gonna go ahead. I pre-measured a I'll probably better do this. Pre-measured a piece of my number 9 wire for my dog. We're going to put that on there for strength for the dog. I'm still getting the pliers in there. And got the biggest pair of vice grips I can find. Stand by. Basically, we're going to put that on there, and what this is going to do, when Mr. Coyote's caught, he won't be able to bend up my dog. I'll put it more forward. He won't be able to sit there and chew on this thing. I should have probably made it a touch longer. But he won't chew on it and bend it. A lot of times you'll see them, they'll just be crushed. Again, you'll want to go really cold with your welder. Probably have to file and do some work. So there's that. That's pretty good. Looks like we got through some heat anyway. So, moving right along. I'm gonna let this cool. Clean her up a little bit. Looks all pretty. Got the sticker glue off my jaws. I mean, these are brand new. I just bought them. I got one more. Okay, looking good. Now we're gonna let that sit and cool. We're gonna bend our base plate. We'll take our trap bender, put it in the vise. Got some swinging room. Take our 4 3/4 inch piece. Now with this you want to go about halfway. Try to go about in the middle if you can, just eyeball it. I do. And we're just going to give that a bend there. Flip her over. Give that another bend. Flip her over. Give that a bend. I think I'm going to go a little more. Now we got our plate. What I'm gonna do now, put her in the vise to kind of get it back square. I'll take my fence pliers, twist her back straight. Don't have to be splitting hair rocket science, you know. Just has to lay flat. You want it to be straight. You know, it's pretty. You want it to look pretty, I guess. You know, look good. But I'm about function too. It's got to function. You know what I'm saying? I'm no pro at nothing. So we're gonna want to turn our welder back up. Make sure our D-ring goes on there. Get her centered over our frame. You want to make sure too when you're welding these up, don't weld up your holes there where your spring pin's got to go. That'll make for a rough day of grinding, drilling out, and doing some work then. Square that up on the frame, got my D-ring in there. Looks like I got good movement, so it was a good bend. I'm just gonna run these down and then close this up. We'll do that. I'm gonna, while we're at it here, I'm gonna go along these sides too. just gonna keep things, you know, from moving. No coyote in this world, or probably not a cougar or maybe even a wolf would bend all that. They're pretty stout, but that is steel. At the end of the day, that's welded steel. So, I don't know if you can see. I basically just close that up right there. If I was using this same material on my wider traps, like a 3 or bigger, I could run down these sides. But since I'm right up to the edge on each side of this, I can't really do much. I would just burn it up. You know, it would run down the sides and just not look good. So I'll just put it there where I can run them together on both sides of my D-ring. Here we go. We're base plated. And then we'll get our laminations ready. This one go ahead and we'll do that. I don't know if these old things are going to work well or not. Okay. I took my number 9 wire again. The only thing I did was I cut it 4 1/4 inches, and the only thing that I did prior to this is cut it 4 1/4 and put it in the vise and straighten it, because it's wire, so you know it's not perfect. But I like it because I can bend it and move it, which is way better than round stock. I can just put it on here and just bend it where I need it. Another vice grip. Let's go right up to the edge of your trap jaw. There again, the cool thing about this number 9 wire is I can tack one side and then come back over here and work this other side. If you're doing offset jaw traps, same thing, just go with the edge of the jaw. They don't have to be touching, you know. When like these straight jaws, all I gotta do is take this other piece and touch it to it, you know. But offset, you just go with the edge of the jaw. Easy business. Make sure you're still on your line there. See that? Right along that jaw edge. Right along there. Just flush. Burn this one on. We're still good. hit it. We're going to do the same on this side. So now this side. What's going on here? Quite a gap in there. Okay. Alright. Game on. Okay, so you just want to follow the edge again. This one's going to be a little harder because things are warm now. Maybe just put a little bend in there. Get it even on my ends. Which I'm not. That trap is hot. I can just bend it to it. Get that thing right where you need it before you weld her up. So I love this number 9 wire for doing this because it's just, it forms right where you need it. It looks nice. Get right on that jaw edge there. I think I'm going to do this side and then reform it on this other side. Short. If you had a jig or something too, would work great. Something to hold it in there where it needs to be. Vice grip it, I guess. Well, we are laminated, base plated, dog mated. The whole show. Took way less time than I thought it would. Now we gotta let it all cool down. While we're doing that, we'll do our chain. Let's see, we did I guess everything. Yeah. I think we're ready to reassemble once it cools. So that's good. Put this in here and get another swig of coffee. Well, some might think it's a lot of work for a Duke trap, but like I said, this is, you know, this is for any trap you find out in the shed, anything you want to get updated, or you know, maybe beef it up so you can, just so they're better quality when you do all this work to it. And don't be afraid. The cool thing about welding, if you screw it up, you just grind it off and redo it, you know. But we'll let this cool while we're doing that. I'll go ahead and get the chain measure. Cut. I don't know, I'll probably go right there. Take our fence pliers. Old fence pliers, they make short work of the trap life. We'll put our swivels on. Probably doesn't matter. Me being me, I always like to go, I put these crosses like towards pressure. So like this one will be, hold on, I'm about to mess up. This one I'm going to put the bend out here, like that. And this one's going to be on the trap frame. So when it's being pulled on, it's pulling these two together. Probably doesn't matter, it's just me and my pet peeve. Or in my mind, it probably doesn't matter, but in my mind it does. Then that, easy peasy. Some guys even weld these. I don't see the need once they're closed. I'm not gonna reopen them. They're not gonna, you know, maybe after they rust through years and years, might not hurt. The only ones I've ever had trouble with opening back up are the ones that I open and close on a regular every season. So that's gonna be hard to, you can't, I guess I can't see welding those because it's something I have to be able to put new anchors on. I got to be able to anchor it, you know, to the open and close for the anchor system, and I just don't see that practical for me. So I could weld all these other ones, and I get, you know, I don't have wolves and lions here in my area of Tennessee, so I guess maybe that would be a bigger deal out there. Sure don't hurt for peace of mind, you know, go ahead and do it anyway. That's for sure. But I put these on the outside, those are always towards pressure, you know. One's gonna be the coyote pulling, the other one's gonna be my anchor pulling. So the weak link in the middle hopefully holds up. That's good chain. I've held lots of coyotes unchained that thin. Like I said, I don't have to worry about lions and bears and wolves and stuff where I'm at. So that's that. Pretty much it. My bolt, I was looking this morning, I didn't have a brass bolt, so I need to go to the parts store, get a brass bolt. But for right now, for this video, I'm gonna use this little one I got, this steel or stainless, whatever it is. But that's nice. No slack. A lot of smoke in here. That's good stuff. So we'll put that back on, put our springs back on. We gotta let that trap cool, so I might just come back here in a few minutes and finish her up. But we got our chain cut and done. I'm running probably 6-7 inches of chain, I bet. Yeah. And my 2 swivels. That's gonna give him just enough room to stand up and not take a step and get some good, you know, good run at it, good leverage. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, I like shorter chain. If I was gonna go longer chain, I would put shock springs. That's just, I got some real long, some 12, 18 inch. And I got shock springs, or you run drags, you'll want shock springs on them. In my opinion, I'm no trapping expert, but I guess we'll sign off for now. Let's see. I don't know. Cooled off pretty fast. Yeah, I guess it did cool off pretty fast, except for the jaws. So, go ahead and hook up our base plate. That just goes on there like so. Like so, and then this one I'm going to close up some. It's going to go on my earth anchor. I'll just close it up some so it don't slip back through there where I lose it. There we go. I can still get my cable through, and I won't lose it. So we're starting to look like a trap now. Base plated. The only thing missing, I got to get my trap tag put on there, but I'm sure we don't need a video on that. Looking pretty darn good. We'll be ready for coyotes. Got all summer long now to let my paint dry. I like to paint and wax my new stuff. Well, I like to paint and wax my old stuff too. Once they get really rusty, I think I'm thinking about dyeing, using the trap dye. I've never tried that before. Not the dye. I've tried the dye. I haven't tried the dip. My bad. Alright, ladies and gents. If this don't get your fire going, your wood's wet. So, here we go. Go ahead and put these springs back on. Now these springs, if you go to ever replace them, you want to make sure, you always want to make sure this short side, they got these angles, they got these bends, and it's just simple. They go underneath the frame, so you'll just look at it this way and you're like, well, this has to be my right, your left, my right, or your right, my left on this one. That's just as simple as they go. You know. Boom. Little simple slide this through here. Through our little there we go. So now, that's that. We'll take our spring tool here. Just reverse order. I'm just going to put that back around there, like so. Pull him off. Grab this side. There we go. Things are looking good. I'm going to take this, pin's a little sideways. When you got a sideways pin, you can just knock them one side or the other and knock it back straight on these ends. But feeling good. It's a little some of you guys with your Dukes, you know, always talk about taking a file, smoothing that down. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea on this trap. It's got a little edge on it. This is a 3/16 file, which once we get to do this night latch, That's when it comes in to be the thickness is more important, because you got to go halfway up your post with that, your pan post. So you'll need the thickness matters then. But yeah, we're starting to look like a trap now. Little Welding flag off there. Okay. Getting there. We'll throw on our pan. Like I said, I'm gonna go to the hardware store, get me a, I guess I was out. I got the brass nuts, but no bolts. So then, somewhere around here, I thought I had it. There it is. 3/8 nut driver. Trying to get somewhat of a pan tension on there. About 2 pounds right there. This is going to be for coyotes and fox. About 3. Might leave it there for now, because I'm going to obviously have to, once I do my night latch, it's going to be way low. Probably shouldn't even do it there. Just going to take the post and, if I can do it on there, maybe not. Just going to put that on that post, bend it out some. We'll see where that's at. Okay, so put that in there. Get my 3/16 file. 3/16 when I do this comes up to halfway on my pan. I wish I could get this where you guys can. You can probably see that pretty good. Alright, latch comes up. The file comes about halfway up on it. You're gonna hold your pan level. And your file level and straight. You don't have to do a lot to it. It don't take a lot. Probably should have made sure I had this straight too. Get all the burrs off of it. Let's see. Ooh, them are tight springs. Boy. There we go. Springs are tight. See if I got her too much or too little. That's a loud dude. Guess my pan level can go a little forward with the pan, maybe. But yeah. Ooh, scary. Maybe it's a little forward with the pan. It might have been alright to begin with. Man, you really got to push that thing down with these new springs. No, that's too far. Just a hair too far. That's nice. Might take her just a little bit. Man, them things are solid. It ain't on there by much. That dude looks nice. Let's see where we're at tension wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. That ain't good. 1, 2, 3, about 4 out here on the end. I could probably take a little bit off on that. Maybe it just needs to be worked in. Anyway, that's a beauty of a trap right there. Which, you know, some of you guys could find that out in the shed. That'd be Grandpa's old trap he just brought back to life. One more thing before I sign off. I'm going to take these spring pin ends, bend them down, which are spring pin, spring plier, tool, or spring tool, bend them dudes down. Maybe. Tell you what I'll do, I'm going to use my pliers. No, I ain't either. A lot of work right there. Here's what we'll do. Bend these down. So Mr. Coon can't pop your springs off. Well, Kyle will too, I guess. Besides that, it'll help them with the anchoring. Oh, we really pulled that crooked. It'll help with the anchoring into the ground too, so there we go. Now it'll bed like a champ. There we are. Ready for dogs. Alright guys, I guess that's gonna just about do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll probably see ya sometime again. Have a good one.